Hello, everybody. I'm Matt.
And I'm Maggie.
And we are...
Hopefully Awesome.
That's right. A positive place on the internet where we nerd out about all the geeky things we love. And today's geeky thing is... Transformers!
I was like, when is this going to end?
I was way off. Like, that's not even what it is. Let me tell you. All right, this week... welcome to going back to Beast Wars, everybody. This week, the best thing about the movie, is the theme song. Like, the theme song is just so good. It's super 80s, super metal.
So good.
Did not have to go that hard.
The soundtrack didn't have to go that hard.
The soundtrack of this movie is just ridiculously good. You've got the touch.
And also, like you said, I always watch it. So whoever was editing it didn't quite understand what these songs were like, honestly, and what was happening. It
feels like they, like the studio or whoever was financing this was like, listen, here's 10 songs that have to be in this movie. All right. So just, I don't care where they go, but you have to fit them in. And the guy's like, yeah, sure, just leave the list there. You totally forgot about it. And then, like 7 months later, it was like the day before it was coming out, and like he found the list. I was like, fuck, I forgot to put these in there. And so he goes in and he's like, I have to find, here, just go here.
I'll just go in order.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. And like he got lucky with a couple.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But he did not get lucky with a lot of them. Like, Dare to Be Stupid ended up being in a good spot. And I mean, obviously the theme song ended up being in a good spot. But yeah, it was a very different soundtrack. Yeah. It was different.
Definitely.
But before we go any further, everybody, welcome if this is your first time checking out this show. This is Going Back to Beast Wars, our weekly rewatch of the Beast Wars franchise. We decided before starting Beast Wars that we'd get a little bit of a solid
historical
ground. Yes. And went back to the original Transformers last week. Of course, we watched the first 3 episodes, the little mini-series they did of Robots in Disguise for Transformers the show. And this week, we decided to skip ahead to Transformers the movie from 1986. That's right. Next week, we begin Beast Wars. We'll get into the specifics about that at the end of the show, but we'll go ahead and let you know that we'll be watching the first 4 episodes for next week. Yes. So if you'd like to watch those, they are available. Let me actually go ahead and pull this up. You can find the episodes. I don't know if they're legal or not. Who knows? But someone went in and actually upscaled them. I guess they used AI to upscale them. But they look good, so I don't know. If you're a purist, you might want to go get like the DVD, or I think you can watch it on Pluto or Tubi or some crap. But over on the channel on YouTube for free, it's called Al's Replay. And he has the entire series of Beast Wars in 4K. He also has it in HD as well. And he also did that to Beast Machines as well, and Reboot. Of all things. Yes. Maggie is very excited about that.
Reboot.
It does say it's copyright by Hasbro. So I mean, I think it's like legit on here, but I mean, every episode that you need to watch is right here on YouTube. Whoop, sorry. I accidentally hit the
You got the touch.
And he did not stretch it out. Like, he kept it in the original 4:3 aspect ratio. So I'm really, really happy. This looks like a really good quality upgrade for it. So if you would like to follow along that way. As far as the movie goes, we bought it on iTunes. I think it was like $6.99 when we bought it. Mm-hmm. So if you already have the movie, then great, you can watch it that way. If you'd like to rent it, that's great. Or we will be recapping the movie itself. So either way. But enough bullcrap, Maggie. It's time to go back to Beast Wars. Beast Wars! Because we're going back to Beast Wars.
We're going to watch Transformers the movie.
Beast Wars! I gotta say, I think Beast Wars has it on Transformers as like the best property in Transformers. Some people will think I'm wrong. That's fine. I think Beast Wars is the best that they've done in Transformers. However, the theme song to the movie is the best piece of anything Transformers. Like, period. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Bless you, my goodness. We got another one? There you go. She needed the sneeze buzzer. You good?
I'm good.
All right. So, all that being said, let's dive into Transformers the movie. Original release date was August 8th, 1986. Written by Ron Friedman and directed by Nelson Shin. So we've got a bit of a synopsis here, so we'll just kind of read through that. And we'll drop in with some fun tidbits and shit as we go. All right, so we begin as a mechanical planet travels through the depths of space, attacking a metal planet which has robotic inhabitants. Robots, vehicles, buildings, and even large chunks of rock are sucked off the surface and devoured by the monstrous planet. It is the year 2005, and the Decepticons are now in control of Cybertron. The Autobots are preparing to launch an assault to retake the planet from hidden bases on two of Cybertron's moons. The Autobots launch a shuttle to pick up a final shipment of Energon from Earth before they strike. So, since we last left the show, we are now, I guess, the Decepticons have found their way back to Cybertron.
Yeah.
And they have now kind of taken it over again. And I know that the show skips ahead to this. Like, I know the show doesn't get to the point of 2005.
Yeah.
Like, you're just watching and then the movie starts and it's 20 years later or some crap.
Yeah.
So, I didn't watch the entire series, so I can't say for certain exactly how all of it plays out.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so I guess when you're a kid going to watch this, like...
You're probably confused.
Yeah, well, that and, like, everybody's on the same level. Like, whether you've been watching the show, granted, you know the characters, you know. But as far as, like, what's going on, everybody's confused together.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Kind of like The Matrix 4. All right, so plans for the attack are overheard by Laserbeak, who reports back to Megatron. The Decepticons attack the Autobot shuttle en route to Earth, wiping out its crew, including Ironhide, Prowl, Ratchet, and Brawn. Using the Autobots' own shuttle, the Decepticons are able to get very close to the Autobots' base on Earth, Autobot City, before they are detected and begin a devastating surprise attack on the unprepared city. Of course, we cut over and we find Spock's son, Daniel. Daniel! Hey, Daniel! Hey, I just want to be with my dad. Why am I gotta catch fish, Hot Rod? And Hot Rod's like, hey, buddy, listen, I don't know what to tell you. I'm from the Breakfast Club, all right? And you need to just fuck off, you little fuck.
I didn't want to babysit a human.
I wish Hot Rod had just been Judd Nelson's character from
Breakfast Club.
Yeah, that would have been amazing. But then he's like, hey, look, let's go over to Autobot City. Hey, look, here comes the Autobots. Oh, no.
There's a hole in the ship, Hot Rod.
Nobody else notices. Nobody else notices this giant gaping hole. And then Hot Rod starts shooting at him. And, like, the old guy, he's like, Cup. Yeah. Cup, yeah. And he's like, what's he doing now? Why? He didn't bring that truck with he, did he? My name's Chat Hunter. You call me Cup. So, during the battle at Autobot City, both Optimus Prime and Megatron suffer mortal injuries, and a number of others are also killed. Eventually, the Decepticons retreat, but the damage suffered by the Autobots is severe. That's right, everybody. So Optimus is like running by, and he's like, fuck you, Megatron, bomb! And then Megatron's like, oh, please, Optimus, mercy.
Please, Optimus.
Nah, he's like a bit higher pitched, remember? Like, this Megatron's not.
I can't do it. Yeah. I can't do it. I get too low.
But he's like, oh, please, mercy. And Optimus like, mercy for you when you show none to others? I thought you were made of stronger still, Megatron. And Megatron's like, oh, in your face, Prime Man! And shoots him, right? And Optimus like, fuck, my fucking Transformer liver is like, it's been pierced. I'm dying. I'm dying. I'm dying.
Sorry, Optimus. I shouldn't have hopped up top of Megatron.
Hot Rod is like, it's all my fault, Optimus. And Optimus like, yeah, you're right about that, Hot Rod. You piece of shit. Oh, God, I'm dying.
Optimus, you can take it down, Notchman.
They say the last thing to go is your controlment over your bowels.
Sir, we don't have bowels. Oh my God, we do.
That was Prime. And then the Decepticons retreat. All right. And they go back into space. They get inside a fucking train. They're in a train. A space train.
Astro train.
It's a space train.
Astro
and
train.
I asked myself, Maggie.
What?
Is this... I asked myself when I said it to Maggie, is this where the Back to the Future 3 train came from? Because it looks a lot like it. It looks a lot like it. I'm not going to lie. And like, this came out in 86. And I mean, the toys existed. Did one of Zemeckis' kids, like, was one of the kids, the kids that Doc and Claire Clayton have. What are their names? The kids. Jules and Vern.
Yeah.
Was one of them playing with the Transformer, And then Zemeckis was like, hey, that's the ticket. Let's make the train. It should be that. We should make a train.
And later, we'll use a train to get to the North Pole.
Oh, and it'll be called the Polar Express. I'm going to make Beowulf. All right.
Okay.
Shortly after the battle, Prime lies on his deathbed. And everybody's around and it's playing that music.
So 80s.
And he's like, my fellow Autobots, though today we suffer a loss, one day we will lose no more. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten spark.
Sir.
That whosoever believeth in the Matrix will not perish until all are one.
Okay, I was afraid you just were
I'm dead.
the human crap.
It does this. He goes.
But before he does that, he opens up his chest.
Let me open up. Hang on, I'm back. All right, everybody, listen here. This is Optimus Prime.
This is the Matrix.
I'm the leader of the Autobots, but you all need another leader. So check this shit out. And he opens his chest. He's like,
oh, crap, man.
Look at this. Look at this.
What is that? Is that a flashlight?
Look at this, my spark, dogs.
What?
Check out this spark.
Do I have one?
This is the Matrix of leadership.
Do I have one?
Fuck you. Fuck you, Hot Rod. Don't you tell me about a business devil car. All right, listen. Magnus. Come here.
Yes.
I want to put my spark in you.
I will gladly take it.
More like Magnum, all right? I'm dying.
Oh, God.
I'm dying, Magnus. Listen, with this spark, you will be the new leader of the Autobots.
Thank you.
That's right, Magnus. Take the spark till all are one.
He's dead. Oh no, it's falling.
Hot Rod grabs it and he's like, oh shit, he dropped the Matrix of leadership. But here you go, Magnus.
And I said right there, oh.
Hot Rod's going to be the leader.
Hot Rod's going to be the leader.
What is Magnus? I feel like I'm forgetting the words.
Isn't it Optimus Magnus or Magnus Optimus?
No.
Or Magnus Prime?
No. No. We're going to Ultra Magnus.
Ultra.
He passes the reins of leadership to Ultra Magnus and gives him the Matrix of leadership. Though Hot Rod actually touches the Matrix before Magnus does. Whatever that means. Prime relates a prophecy. One day, an Autobot shall rise from our ranks and use the power of the Matrix to light our darkest hour. He then gives the oath, till all are one, and dies. The sequence of events is observed remotely by Unicron, the monstrous planet who appears unusually concerned by the survival of the Matrix. Whoa. The Decepticons are making their escape aboard Astro Train, but they are just too heavy to get them all home under his own power. So after they put the matter to a vote, they decide on survival of the fittest.
Toot, toot. Hey guys, you got a lot in the load back there. It's a little bit too heavy.
We think we should get rid of anybody that can't fight for themselves.
Can y'all throw out Starscream for God's sakes?
Starscream will lead the Decepticons.
No, Soundwave is superior. We think that Destructor is superior. And so Megatron is too injured to save himself, and Starscream tosses Megatron out into space and claims leadership of the Decepticon army. Finally, my time has arrived! Surely this will not lead to my ultimate demise! Surely not! And then they fly off. Megatron and the others drift through space until they encounter Unicron in interstellar space. Who are you?
I am Unicorn.
Unicron.
Sorry. It came out weird. Unicron.
It's Halloween 1930, and the aliens have arrived. This is truly the war of the worlds.
This is Halloween. This is Halloween.
And so Unicorn offers to rebuild Megatron and his minions in exchange for their service. After some coercion on the planetoid's part, Megatron agrees. Fine, I'll be whatever you need. Just please save my life.
You are no longer Megatron. You are Galvatron.
Which is Spock. And also animation part. The animation part here is pretty sweet.
It is really cool, actually.
Yeah.
And then he's like, Hi.
I am Galvatron.
Live long and prosper.
There you go.
I am Galvatron. I will return as the leader of the Decepticons. Should I keep doing it as Captain Kirk?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I'm trying. I don't really do a good Leonard Nimoy impression. You know, we could just do Leonard from Big Bang Theory.
Oh God, no.
All right, so yeah, Megatron agrees and reformatted into Galvatron. The other Decepticons are turned into Cyclonus, Scourge, and the Sweeps. Unicron provides them with a ship and sends them to kill Ultra Magnus and destroy the Matrix, stating that the Matrix is the only thing which can stand in Unicron's way. Galvatron first stops at Cybertron to take his revenge. So Starscream is getting ready to put on the crown. They're like,
Yeah. I am now the leader of the Decepticons.
Starscream is the leader of the Descendants now. Surely I will reign for 1,000 eons.
Not anymore.
But then Galvatron shows up and just fucking kills Starscream right
he
in
turns
the face.
gray. He's just gone.
He goes gray, man, just like Optimus did, you know. And when somebody goes gray in a cartoon anime, like that means they're dead.
They're gone.
Look at Ash. Remember in Pokemon the first movie, he's gray. He's dead.
He's gone
Until the tears of all the Pokemon brought him back to life.
Yep.
Think about it. All right, so almost immediately afterwards, Unicron arrives in Cybertron's vicinity and devours at least 2 moons. Both of the Autobots' moon bases are destroyed under coercion by Unicron. Galvatron finally heads to Earth to kill Ultra Magnus. But Magnus and the other surviving Autobots flee in a pair of shuttles. And while they do that, Bumblebee and Spock, who is now 35 years old, and the father to Daniel, they like go somewhere, like they try and leave. They blow up the moon. That's what it is. They blow up the moon,
And they're like, well, no one can survive this. And then it does nothing to Unicron. And then they're like, well, I guess we're inside Unicron now. And that's how we sideline Spike and
Bumblebee.
Yeah. Like,
why?
I mean, listen, if Spike didn't really matter anyway.
Yeah.
Why did we have to jump ahead so far? Like, and have Daniel, you know? Like,
because it was the 80s,
Can we just kept child Spike and let him play the role of Daniel? You know? Like, did we really need to?
Then we would have Sparkplug out in space.
Hey, you better get your ass checked. Sorry. And so the Autobots run away.
Run away.
I lost my place entirely.
Run away. Want to survive.
So they leave Autobot City and they flee in a pair of shuttles. Eventually, Galvatron manages to cause one shuttle to crash on yet another metal planet, Quintasia, and detonates the other with a volley of missiles. However, the Autobots in the second shuttle escape unnoticed by separating the front portion of their shuttle just before impact. It pulled a classic Enterprise D, you know, when they're like, we're going to separate, we're going to crash into this planet. You remember that, Maggie?
Yeah.
Do you remember?
I do.
What was it?
That was the last Star Trek movie.
Star Trek Generations.
Oh.
Yeah, Enterprise D.
Oh, D.
That's the new generation.
My bad.
Next generation.
Oh.
Yeah, they separate, and then the disc goes flying and crashes. Boom.
Yeah.
Right before the ribbon arrives. You know, and that guy that put the curse on what is it? Andy McDowell. Do you know what I'm talking about?
It sounds familiar.
100 good deeds from Andy McDowell, where he's turned into a dog. And like in order to turn back into a human, he had to do 100 good deeds. He was a bully.
Wow.
You remember that?
I do remember that.
Yeah, the guy that put the curse on him was the bad guy in Star Trek Generations.
That guy's always been a bad guy.
Yeah. He was in Heroes.
Yeah.
He played that guy, the main guy that they
put
talked
the curse
about. Hiro Nakamura, you must complete 100 good deeds in order to be returned back to Endo.
I like that.
That'd be good. Well, somebody should do a mashup of that. Just for me and you. Like, nobody else is going to watch that.
Nobody else is going to watch it. We'll watch it.
All right. Anyway. How'd they get him on that show anyway? That's so weird. However, the Autobots in the second shuttle... Sorry, the Autobots in the crash shuttle, Hot Rod and Cup, and the Dinobots find themselves separated and in a hostile environment. Hot Rod and Cup are captured by a squad of Elicons and taken before a quintessent judge and his court. While being held there, they learn the name and nature of Unicron from Kranix, a survivor of the planet destroyed in the opening of the film, which he calls Lithone. Meanwhile, the Dinobots encounter and befriend a young wild Autobot named Willie, who has been living alone on Quintessa. Together, they crash the trial just as Hot Rod and Cup are fighting and losing odds against the Quintessence Sharkticons. The tide is turned and the Autobots commandeer a Quintesson cruiser. That happened. I gotta say, everything through Megatron shooting the ships, I was following.
Yeah.
Once, or I guess whatever his name, Galvatron, whatever the hell it is. Once we have the two plans going on, and we got the TV people and the Quintessons and shit, I can't follow any of it. I looked at Maggie and I was like, I feel like I'm losing my mind. Like I don't understand. There's like not a plot to this movie, you know? Like there's a plot for like the first 30, 45 minutes.
Yeah.
And then it's like a bunch of nothing happens, and then they get back into Unicron and blow him up. And like that makes sense.
Yes.
But all that in the middle is just like, I don't know.
Muddled.
Dude, I have no idea what's going on with that. But we now return to Transformers the movie. The other group of Autobots have landed on the planet Junkion to make repairs, but are attacked yet again by Galvatron, who is tipped off to their survival by Unicron. During the battle, Ultra Magnus tries to open the Matrix to use its power, but is unable to do so, and instead is killed.
This mystery has been solved.
Galvatron absconds scones, with the Matrix taking it away to Unicron. The remaining Autobots, Perceptor, Blur, Springer, RC, and Spike's son Daniel, are then ambushed by Junkions, the eponymous natives of Junkion, who are also giant transforming robots. This battle is cut short, however, by the arrival of Hot Rod's group in their Quintesson ship. After exchanging the universal greeting, they all make I forgot about the universal greeting.
God Cup.
Oh my God. And the Junkions restore Ultra Magnus to life. Together, the whole group travels to Cybertron to try to recover the Matrix and destroy Unicron. Galvatron attempts to open the Matrix to use its power against Unicron and force his master into submission, but is unable to open it. Unicron, not pleased with this attempted treachery, shocks Galvatron by transforming from a planet into a planet-sized robot. Unicron plucks Galvatron off his chest and swallows him, Matrix and all, and then begins attacking Cybertron itself. Shockwave scrambles the Decepticons' forces to defend the planet, but they are ineffective against so large an enemy. Shortly, the Autobots arrive from Junkion and fly the Quintesson ship straight through Unicron's eye. This impact destroys the ship, and the Autobots fell out inside Unicron. Hot Rod separated...
Fall out inside of you.
Well, it said fell. Hot Rod, separated from the others, eventually runs into Galvatron. During their fight, Hot Rod gets his hands on the Matrix and hears Optimus's voice speak the words, "Arise, Rodimus Prime." Hot Rod grows in stature, adopts a much sterner demeanor, and quickly dispatches Galvatron by tossing him through Unicron's hole out into space. That's right, Maggie. He then opens the Matrix, which fills Unicron with light and begins destroying him. Oh, the Matrix! I should have known. In the meantime, the other Autobots inside Unicron have located some of their comrades from the moon base who had been presumed dead, including Bumblebee and Daniel's father, Spike. The Autobots, including Rodimus, escape through Unicron's remaining eye just as he begins to fall apart and explode. The scene then immediately shifts to the surface of Cybertron, where, for unclear reasons, the Autobots seem to be in charge again. Rodimus predicts an era of peace and prosperity, and the film closes with a shot of Unicron's severed head still floating in orbit around Cybertron. The end.
I can't get it.
But now, let's hear a word from our sponsors.
This episode is brought to you by patreon.com/hopefullyawesome.
That's right. At the $5 tier, you can have access to every episode we make ad-free and have your name listed in the credits of every video. At $10, you'll be able to get access to our all-new exclusive shows right here on patreon.com/hopefullyawesome. Those include Hopefully Weekly, a weekly show where Maggie and I catch up on all the things that's happened over the past week, both in our life and in the world around us. Family Game Night, a weekly show where Maggie and I will play a variety of board games, from Blockbuster Party Game all the way to Fast and the Furious Heist Game, whatever that is.
Highway Heist.
The Hopefully Awesome movie commentary that we'll do once a month, where Maggie and I will watch one of our favorite films and then record us talking about it over it. Kind of like a mix between Mystery Science Theater 3000 and, just us goofing off and talking about nothing related to the film. And lastly, Matt plus Maggie. This is our monthly show where Maggie and I talk about our relationship. I don't think we'll be giving any advice, but hey, tune in. It'll be fun. And if you want to go above and beyond at the $25 level, not only do you get everything that we've just talked about, but you also get a verbal shout out as our Patreon producer of the entire month. All this and more.
So sign up at patreon.com/hopefullyawesome today.
We now return to going back to Beast Wars. Remember, if you'd like to get this show ad-free and the audio version, you can do so over at Hopefully Awesome on Patreon at patreon.com/hopefullyawesome. So go check that out. Now, let's get into our segments. We've got a few where we're going to talk about this movie. So I think instead of doing like just a standalone, thoughts on this, we'll give the thoughts as we're doing the segments. Okay. So first off, it's time for the countdown to Beasts. 23 weeks until the Beasts arrives. Wait, did I go up one? I think it's less than that. Is it 21 weeks? Yeah, 21 weeks until the Beasts arrive.
Yeah.
This has been
And
the
the
countdown to Beasts. They're going to hate that. All right. Now let's get into That's Just Prime, words of leadership from Optimus Prime.
Well, that's just Prime.
Now all we need is a little energon and a lot of luck. These are, of course, leadership quotes that help you be a better leader that we get from Optimus Prime.
Yeah.
One shall stand, one shall fall. I think that one was actually said in the Transformers, 2007 movie.
It probably was.
I remember there was this website where you could submit, they had a contest
Yeah.
for you to get a line in the movie.
No.
Yeah, and you just submit whatever you think Optimus should say. And I'm pretty sure the one that got picked was one shall live, one shall fall, or one shall stand, one shall fall.
Wow.
I don't know. I submitted one that said
Monkey's butt.
nah, I think it was what was it? I don't remember. It wasn't good. It didn't get picked. So I mean, You who are without mercy now plead for it. I thought you were made of sterner stuff. And then lastly, until that day, till all are one. That's it. He does.
One.
Till all. Did you know, Maggie, that there is a song called, I believe it's called Till All Are One.
I know two become one by the Spice Girls.
That's a different one. Wait, Stan Bush. Is that how you do it? Here we go. Nah. I mean, that may also be it, but anyway, it doesn't matter. But then there's a song called The Death of Optimus Prime. Yeah, and it's funny. I don't know. It's not funny. I mean, it's good, but yeah. All right. Anyway, we're going down. All right, let's get into war. What is it good for?
What is it good for?
Absolutely nothing. Say it again.
So this is how the war has progressed so far. The Great War is over.
Hey.
For now.
Bum, bum, bum.
So I actually looked into this because, obviously we're going to jump from this to Beast Wars. And when we start Beast Wars, it's several years.
Yeah.
Like millions, I think, after Transformers.
Yeah.
And so they mention the Great War, which is this. Okay. Mm-hmm. And so I was trying to figure out what happens between this and Beast Wars. And so I looked ahead, because obviously we're not going to watch it, but I looked ahead to the seasons following the movie. And one of the things that happens is they bring back Optimus Prime because everybody was so pissed and upset about it. But really, it looks from what I can tell, it looks like it's a bunch of standalone stories.
Yeah.
They go to other planets and do things, kind of like Star Trek.
Yeah.
And the Quintessons are bad guys, and the Decepticons still exist, but they're not I mean, they are still antagonists, obviously, but the main concern is the Quintessons.
Yeah.
And then basically the show ends where we are right now, where the war is over, and they live in peace or whatever.
Yeah.
And then they did the Gen 2, which was a redo of Gen 1, but it was just repackaged episodes.
Yeah.
And they re-released new toys and stuff. And then apparently the whole thing just stops. And because sales had stopped and it wasn't doing good, and so they shut down Transformers, as a toy brand, as shows, and
comics and everything.
And then I think 2 years later, they launched Beast Wars as a way to bring back Transformers, and that's why it's completely different. And so when they were told to make a cartoon, they weren't mandated to make it within the same universe.
Yeah.
They honestly didn't care. They're whatever.
Yeah, what are we going to do?
We just need a cartoon because it worked for the last one. And so the people that created Beast Wars were fans of the original.
Yeah.
And they wanted to continue on with the continuity of that. And so that's why Beast Wars continues from this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, there wasn't there was technically a series finale. It was supposed to be a 5-parter, and they ended up only doing 3.
Gosh.
and they had to introduce like so many characters to sell the toys.
Oh my god!
And like the writer said that with them shortening it to 3 episodes, he would have to introduce a new character every 49 seconds, essentially, to get them all in there.
That's too overwhelming.
Mm-hmm. And so so that's kind of what happens. And I mean, I'm sure, hey, Transformers fans out there, if you all know more than we do, I'm sure you do. Let us know if I'm missing like a bridge between these. I know there was some other stuff. Like there's been some comic books. There's been some, there's other series that existed only in Japan.
Yeah.
So there may be some bridges, but like I'm talking about specifically that was released between the two.
Yeah.
That kind of wraps up the story or whatever. I'm sure there's been some stuff later that's gone back to kind of merge them together.
Yeah.
Even that Rooster Teeth, the War for Cybertron.
Yeah.
Like even that kind of touches on stuff. So anyway, I'd love to know more. So please feel free to drop it in the comment section. I'd love to get some more details on that for sure. I was more into Beast Wars. If you watched episode 1, I was pretty novice when it comes to Transformers. All right. Now it's time to get into the memorial.
We're all gonna die.
That's right. We're going to remember all those that had fallen. Got a lot of deaths in this one.
Yeah, we do.
Typically, we're not going to have like a ton
Yep.
for this section, but obviously everybody died. So we got Brawn, Prowl, Ratchet, Ironhide, Optimus Prime, Starscream, Windcharger, Wheeljack, Buffer, Megatron, Skyward, Thundercracker, the 3 Insecticons, and Unicron. Till all are one.
R.I.P.
I think we should both say till all are one at the end of it.
Okay.
Till all
Till are one.
No, like I'll say it and you say it.
Okay.
And then like we.
Okay.
Till all are one.
Till R1.
There we go. This one's for me and for my homies.
It's for me and my Transformer homies.
All right. Next up, welcome to the party, pal.
Welcome to the party, pal.
This is where we talk about all of the characters that made their brand new appearance in this. And I'm going to be honest with you all. I phoned it in. And normally we're just going to talk about the new characters that join. From where this is the movie, it was hard to track between the show and the movie of like who was there, who was not there.
Yeah.
So everybody that appears in this movie is on this list of Welcome to the Party.
Okay.
So some of these we did see in the first episodes that we watched last week.
Okay.
All right. So on the Autobot side, we've got Optimus Prime, Hot Rod / Rodimus Prime, Ultra Magnus, Cup, Springer, RC, Blur, Grimlock, Perceptor, Blaster, Swoop, Slag, Sludge, Wheelie, Ironhide, Prowl, Jazz, Bumblebee, Cliffjumper, Brawn, Gears, Auto Combatant, Eject, Rewind, Stilljaw, Ramhorn, Wheeljack, Windcharger, Ratchet, Snarl, Grapple, Huffer, Hound, Sunstreaker, Bluestreak, Inferno. I think I said the same one like 5 different times.
I feel like you was just telling me to do a bunch of commands.
Like, I'm pretty sure I said
Stomp.
Ratchet like 3 different times. I could
Well,
be wrong.
you said a bunch of them that rhymed.
Yeah, maybe that's it.
There's blue streak, light blue streak, green streak.
Now, you really liked, what was his name? Grimlock.
Grimlock. Me not dumb.
The Dinobots are great.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, that was a good inclusion.
I would just like for somebody to explain why they talk like cavemen. Are they really from prehistoric
I should have
times?
looked into this. But, like, I know in the Rise of the Dinobots, right? Is that what it's called? The 4th Transformers movie?
I think.
Transformers 4, Rise of the Fallen?
Something like that.
But I know, like, they have been on Earth for a long time.
Yeah.
And, like, they were even, like, frozen. So I guess they got here before the asteroid hit and, like, the Ice Age and stuff.
Yeah.
And so, like, maybe their intelligence was, like, based off of that.
Yeah.
I guess. I don't know, honestly. I have no idea.
There may not even be a good continuity reason why they talk like that, but then there may be. Who knows? All right. Anybody else you want to call out?
Oh, the girl transformer. I can't remember.
Oh yeah, RC.
RC.
I'm showing. For some reason, I was thinking she was a motorcycle. I didn't think she was a.
Maybe she does transform into a motorcycle at some point, because I know some of them are transforming into different vehicles.
I may be getting the Michael Bay stuff mixed in because I feel like I feel like in the second one there was 3 motorcycles and they called them RC, but like all 3 was the same person.
Same person.
Yeah, I don't know. It was weird.
Same entity.
All right, next up we got the Decepticons. Here we go. Megatron, Galvatron, Starscream, Cyclonus, Scourge, Soundwave, Devastator, Scrapper, Bone Crusher, Hook, Scavenger, Mixmaster, Longhaul, Shrapnel, Kickback, Bombshell, Astrotrain, Shockwave, Dirge, Blitzwing, Rumble, Frenzy, Laserbeak, Ravage, Ratbat, Thrust, Ramjet, Skywarp, Thundercracker, Reflector, Sweeps, and Cyclonus' Armada. What?
Ratbat.
Ratbat, Thrust, and Ramjet. All right. The Junkions. This just keeps going. Oh my God. What? Maggie.
What?
Do you know who played Wreck-Gar?
Wreck-Gar.
That's the leader of the Junkions.
It's Eric Otto.
Is Eric Otto?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, his name popped up at the beginning of the credits.
Well, there you go. Wreck-Gar, Junkyard, Scrap Heap, Rubbish, Recycle, Trash Bin, Hazmat, Ashtray, Wasteoid Gamma, Grease Stain. Grease Stain. That's what it is.
You can tell what time of the...
Like, honestly, you could take that list and just say that those are Garbage Pail Kids, and I would believe it. Like, you could literally just say, oh, yeah, those were the Garbage Pail Kids. All right. Humans, we got Spike Witwicky and Daniel Witwicky. Daniel!
Where's Daniel's mom?
Why do we got to have this little kid running around? You know what I mean?
It's the 80s cartoon thing. You got to do that.
Why?
Like,
so the kids
for
have someone they
example-
can see themselves in?
yeah, for example,
dumb.
Rainbow Bright and the Star Stealer. That's a movie. Rainbow Bright, of course, yes, lives in this world with the other color kids.
Yeah.
And she goes over and she's got a key that she can visit Earth. And
Okay.
she can visit a boy named Brian. And he kind of gives her, clues like, something's going on here on Earth, blah, 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 blah. The colors disappearing and stuff. Yeah. And like, it seems like that's always something that has to happen in 80s cartoons or even 90s cartoons for that reason. Like the main person or group has to have this young child to either protect or to talk to.
I mean, I guess as far as like plot tropes go, having an unknowledgeable child
Yes.
would give you a good reason to give exposition at the very least, and it could, like, oh, they gotta save him. Like, I guess.
Transform, Daniel. I'm trying.
I'm just a boy. But yeah, I don't know.
Why did my dad have to grow up with Transformers?
I am happy to say no humans in Beast Wars.
Yeah.
Or Beast Machines, for that matter.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Lithiones. We got Kranix and Arblus. Quintessons. We got the Quintesson Leader, Quintesson Judge, Quintesson Bailiff, Sharkticons, and Olicons. Other, we've got Unicron. That's it. That's everybody.
I'm Unicorn.
Now let's talk about the upgrades from this movie.
Upgrades.
What's the upgrade, Joe?
So upgrades, this will happen a lot more in Beast Wars, but basically this is when a character gets an upgrade to their stuff.
Gotcha.
So it's like, it's a lot better in Beast Wars. This, they like just, I don't know. I don't think it was as great. Like in Beast Wars, what happened was they would want to do a new set of toys, but they learned from the first time
that you don't kill off the characters, right? So they just made
That's very important.
yeah. So they just made like new versions of the same characters.
Yeah.
And then they figured out a plot reason in the show why they now look different. So it's like, so I call them upgrades, but I mean, there's several different reasons why they go. Transmetals are part of it, which are really cool. All right. So under the upgrades, we got, of course, Megatron becomes Galvatron and Hot Rod becomes Rodimus Prime. There you go. Now let's get into Traitor.
Raider!
This is actions by characters that are treacherous. Starscream. Oh, how it pains me to do this.
And kicks him out.
Wait, I'm still functional. Wanna bet? And then kicks him out. Starscream finally got his comeuppance.
Yeah.
Or well, Megatron got his comeuppance, but then Starscream got his comeuppance from Galvatron.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, Transformers references. Part of a bigger universe. You just don't know it yet.
You become part of a bigger universe. You just don't know it yet.
All right. So, Transformers. Here, for some reason, my notepad was not working right. Okay. And we've got the Transformers, the movie, has a huge effect in shaping the mythos of Transformers. Among the elements and characters which would reappear in many other iterations of Transformers are the notion that Cybertron has moons, the Matrix as a physical object rather than the computer program previously depicted in the Marvel Comics. Even the Marvel Comics would eventually shoehorn this one in. Autobot City being on Earth. Unicron. The notion of Megatron becoming Galvatron. The idea of Prime being a rank rather than simply a given name. So Optimus being Optimus Prime because he earned the title of Prime more than just, that being his name.
Yeah.
Let's see. And it killed off Optimus Prime before it was cool. Literally, Maggie, every Transformers movie, I swear, of the Michael Bay movies.
Yeah.
Like every single one of them, it's like, Optimus died.
Nope.
And then he does
everybody, yeah.
My favorite one is when, like, in the second one, when he comes back to life, and like he's like got like that black plane stuff on him that like helps him fly and stuff. And then at the end, he just shrugs and all. He's like, "Don't need any of that anymore." And it's like, dude, you could have
used that.
And then, like 2 movies later, he flies off into space under his own jetpack, and it's like, you had a jetpack the whole time. What are you doing? Oh my God.
I mean, that's what we were saying about the mini-series last week.
It's true. All right, Maggie, you're going to love this part.
All right.
The Junkions speak almost entirely in pop culture quotes and pastiche. Littered among the generic phrases like Operation Standing By, Film at 11, and Eliminate Even the Toughest Stains are more specific references, such as... That's right. We're going to break down what all the references are. There's not a lot. So, Don't Look Behind. Door number 2, Monty, is a reference to the game show Let's Make a Deal and its host, Monty Hall. Ronnie, Mo. Both the famous Geronimo war cry and the 1963 hit Da-Do Ron Ron.
Wow.
Da-Do Ron 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 Da-Do. I guess that's what that is. Bless you, by the way.
Thank you.
You check in, but you don't check out. A parody of the tagline for Roach Motel insect traps. Breep Drit Ah Rudy. Part of Tutti Fruity Ah Rudy from the 1955 song. Happy Motoring, the slogan of gas company Esso. Kill the Grand Poobah, a satirical term originating from Gilbert and Sullivan's The Macadoo, likely referencing its use as the title of leaders of pseudo-Masonic lodges in the Flintstones and Happy Days.
Wow.
The Grand Poobah.
The Grand Poobah.
That's right. So that's just a little bit of how this movie impacted the greater Transformers universe. Of course, we already talked about what happens between now and Beast Wars, at least to the point of what we know. Maggie, overall, since we are leaving Gen 1 behind, how did you feel about Gen 1?
I think the animation's really cool. Because I told you, I said, I don't know why. I didn't watch Transformers, but this animation's nostalgic to me.
Yeah. I mean, it's very reminiscent of like those very early anime that we got in America.
Yeah.
You know, like Gundam.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. The bird people.
Yeah. I think that's Voltron. Are you talking about Voltron?
No.
Okay.
I mean, Voltron is also similar, but no, it was the bird people. Tell you what, you keep talking. I'm gonna.
I know who you're talking about. I'm just trying to figure out the name. And like, I was trying to see if the same animation company did Rainbow Bright, because the way Spike and Daniel are drawn are the same aspect that Brian off of Rainbow Bright is drawn. So yeah, I'm that type of nerd that notices that kind of stuff. I can tell you if something's Hanna-Barbera or not.
Battle of the Planets and G-Force and Saban's Eagle Riders apparently all used the same.
Yeah, that's right. They changed the name a lot.
There you go, everybody. That's the bird people I was talking about. There you go.
It had different names over the years.
Yeah.
I mean, it's interesting to see how, like, they brought the story about and stuff. Yeah. And we know the main reason why they brought the show around was because they needed to sell toys.
Yeah.
But I mean, yes, of course, there's some cheesy parts, but I enjoyed it myself.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I think me and you growing up with stuff like Power Rangers kind of put us in a place of understanding of this. Like, you know, Power Rangers, even though it's one of my favorites of all time, I'm not crazy. Like, I know the first, like, 60 episodes are literally just the same episode. Yeah. But just with a different costume, you know? Yeah. And, like, so, I mean, with this, I'm glad we went back and watched it.
Yes.
Because I feel like having that foundation, knowing who these characters were and how that's going to play into Beast Wars especially, I think this is worth having seen where we came from.
Yes.
It's almost like watching the Eccleston season of Doctor Who, where it's like you don't have to, but like you'll have a better appreciation for Tennant and Matt Smith if you watch that.
Definitely.
You know? And so I feel like with this, none of this was bad.
No.
You know, like I don't regret us watching any of it. It wasn't like watching this didn't make me want to go back and watch the rest of it.
Yeah.
Honestly, it did make me want to watch some more documentaries about making it.
Yes.
You know, and like the thoughts behind it and stuff.
Yeah, especially where we have it on digital, they remastered it in 4K.
4K,
and they showed the big difference between it.
It's wild.
And the guy that was talking about it, he said you can now see how much detail went into all these frames. Yeah. He said that even the people that saw the original in the movie theaters in '86 didn't get to see that.
Yeah, because it was blown out.
Yeah, because when Megatron becomes Galvatron and all those, of course, classic '80s grid lines and stuff. I mean, it is so nice. And then he showed like what everybody else saw, and you can barely tell what's going on.
Yeah.
So I thought that was pretty cool.
Oh yeah, gosh. And honestly, I feel like had I grew up with this, I feel like this would have been right up my alley.
Yeah.
I mean, especially if I was able to get like the toys and stuff at the same time.
Yeah.
I definitely feel like Transformers would have been a very big piece of me, you know.
Yeah.
And especially, I mean, you gotta think at the time it came out, like you had Star Wars.
Oh
you
yeah.
know? So I mean, imagine the Death Star, but imagine the Death Star can transform into a giant robot.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like,
that's what I was thinking of when I first saw Unicron. I keep on calling Unicorn. I was like, that's the Death Star. That's really weird.
And like they actually recently, I think Dan Larson posted it, but they released a like scale Unicron.
Oh my god.
Like, so it's as big comparatively to like the normal size Optimus.
Oh my god.
Yeah, like I mean, probably
That's
not
crazy.
to scale. Probably not, like because that would have to be like the size of a room because it's a planet. For
it's a planet. Yeah.
But I mean, it's huge. It's huge, and it transforms also. And I want to say it was like maybe $1,000 or something. Like, yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot.
Oh my god.
But yeah, so I mean, I definitely I have a lot of respect
for this show,
Yes.
for this movie.
Yes.
And I think that, had this not existed, Beast Wars couldn't be the show that it became. The Transformers franchise wouldn't be what it is. I mean, surviving for 40 years at this point?
That's crazy.
Yeah, and it's from, I feel like the biggest piece of it is because of the cartoon.
Yeah.
I feel like that is what kept it's what kept the action figures from being just another generic toy on the aisle.
Yes.
Transformers actually meant something.
Yeah. And also the fan base.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's what I'm saying is like, because this cartoon was so good.
Yeah.
And like it let kids know that, hey, like, stories continue. I mean, especially the movie. As much as people complain about Optimus dying, which good call, bad call, whatever. The fact that they were willing to not be, they treated their audience with a little bit of respect.
Yeah.
Like, they weren't like, oh, we don't need to do this because this is for kids.
Yeah.
Like, they knew, hey, this is a war thing, and like, as long as we do it like, in a good way. Yeah. And not just horrible.
Yeah.
Now granted, it was very hard on kids.
Yes,
absolutely.
it was.
But I do think that they believed in their material a little bit more than what I think the toy company believed in it.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, that led to Beast Wars, like, had they not have treated the material as well as they did, then the people who loved the material wouldn't have treated Beast Wars the way they did. And it just would have been another generic thing. So it really just, I don't know, I guess that's my roundabout way of saying I'm glad that this exists, and I very much appreciate it, even though it's not necessarily my cup of tea to go back and like rewatch all of it. Which, granted, I wouldn't do that to Power Rangers either, unless we had a podcast for it.
No,
going back to Angel Grove,
I can't do it.
but I think that this will always be one of like the big touchstones for children's television. Yeah. I think this changed things. Yeah. It wasn't Howdy Doody anymore. Like,
I just realized Unicron's head is floating.
Is it really? Oh yeah, there it is. Oh man. But yeah, I mean, great designs, honestly. And like, I can see why people, especially when they watch the Michael Bay movies, how they had some complaints, because it feels like the people that wrote this respected the material more than Michael Bay did. Yeah. Even though this was a cartoon for children. Yeah.
Yeah. I now understand why you all got mad about Soundwave.
Yes. Oh God. That's a whole thing.
I'm totally with y'all now. Because I remember I was like, why is everybody getting mad about Soundwave? Now I understand.
And don't get me wrong,
mad too.
Don't get me wrong. This isn't a podcast about bashing on the Michael Bay films or anything like that. Like, honestly, that reinvigorated my love for Transformers. Beast Wars had just been a piece of my childhood that had kind of just laid dormant for a long time. Yeah. And then those movies come out and it's like, oh yeah, this was really good, So I mean, I have a lot of love for those movies, even though they are not the best most of the time. Yeah. But yeah, so that's kind of where we're at. That's it for Gen 1.
Next time, Gadget. Next time.
Next week, we are going back to Beast Wars. Finally. After 2 weeks of this, we're finally getting to the show that we've been dying to get to. And honestly, Maggie, I'm going to go ahead and pre-warn you. The first bit of season 1, not necessarily the strongest. Okay. But once we get to like there's a little bit of a mini arc at the end of season 1, and then that leads into season 2. Once they start doing that kind of stuff, it gets really, really good. Okay. Well, I think you'll like it. So next week, like we said, we will be watching the first 4 episodes of Beast Wars. Those episodes are episode 1, Beast Wars Part 1. Episode 2, Beast Wars Part 2. Episode 3, The Web. Ooh. Episode 4, Equal Measures. That will be the 4 that we talk about. We'll also have some new segments that we haven't got to do yet. And yeah, it'll be fun. I can't wait to hear what Maggie thinks. I know, I'm expecting, I think you'll find it fun.
Okay.
That's where I think it'll end up being. I don't think it's going to
Am I going to fall asleep like how I used to fall asleep during Digimon?
You better not. How dare you fall asleep during Digimon? All right?
Dude, I was dead.
Well, that was because we was marathoning like 14 episodes.
And he'd be like, wake up. I'm like, oh, God.
I was like, we got to watch it so you can understand. Try.
And I'm just like, oh, okay.
Oh, man. That's a show we really need to do. But we have an agreement. If we do Digimon, we have to do Sailor Moon.
Yeah.
That was the agreement.
Reboot comes first.
Reboot. Now, do all of these come after Two Tree Hill, Third Time's the Charm?
Jesus.
What was the fourth one? I don't even remember what the fourth one was.
Third Time's Charmed. Was it Supernatural?
Maybe. And like the A was a 4, I think. And then Lost, but the S was a 5. Yeah. All right. Anyway, that's going to wrap it up for us, everybody. Remember, if you'd like the audio version or ad-free version, you can head over to patreon.com/hopefullyawesome, where you can get both of those, as well as other exclusive content, like our weekly shows that we do. Weekly shows we do, like Family Game Night, where we play board games together. And our monthly exclusive shows, like the Hopefully Awesome Movie Commentary, where this month we'll be doing Cloverfield. That's right, if you want to go check that out. Speaking of Transformers Michael Bay movies, Cloverfield, the teaser was before the first one.
Oh.
Yeah, 1/1808. That's all we knew. It was just a date. Cloverfield didn't even exist yet. It was just 1/1808. Go to 1/1808.com, flip around some photos. Time of your life, let me tell you. Time of your life. That's going to wrap it up for us, everybody. We will see you next time. Thanks for watching, as always.
Have a hopefully awesome day.
Autobots, roll out. Taste Wars.